GT4 is probably the most hated Grand Theft Auto video game in the whole series. And I did some research to find out why specifically people hate this game so much, and I'm not so sure if it deserves the hate. The one single thing most people hate about this game is the driving physics. Don't get me wrong, there is an argument for that. I can kind of understand why some people don't like the driving physics. It does have more of that quote-unquote boat-like feeling to it. The whole driving model definitely plays a big emphasis on the weight of every vehicle, and you can see that just from hitting the brakes, making a turn, things like that. But it's just more realistic than any other GT game ever, even GT 5. And because of that, it has a higher learning curve. And yes, the driving is a little bit more challenging, but that also makes it more rewarding and more engaging. I've been playing a good bit of GT 5 recently for like GT 5 RP to get clips for videos and whatnot. And I'm not gonna lie, every single time I drive a car in this game, I can't help but like subconsciously compare it to GT 4 and think that GT 4 is just better. It's just better in my opinion. Now, I have a full video discussing like why the GT 4 driving physics are realistic and underrated, so I won't yap about that too much in this video, but let me know in the comments what you think about the driving physics. Something else that is commonly complained about in this game is the quote-unquote clunky gunplay in combat. Now, me personally, if we're talking about hand-to-hand combat, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. And mixed with the Euphoria engine to give you this crazy ragdoll physics with every NPC, beating someone up in this game is probably the best out of any GT game ever released. And even like your specific like options of combat and like the moves you can use and the animations of Nico is just better than GT 5 in my opinion as well. You have an option to kick, like you can only press a button to kick, you can press a button to punch, and when you dodge someone and have like a little comeback hit, it's just way more creative than GT 5 and have more of a variety of like potential animations that could play out in general when you're in hand-to-hand combat. Now the gunplay, I personally don't feel like it's that bad. Like some people like might be glazing too hard saying it's horrible. Some want to claim that there is some bullet sponges, like you just shoot someone a bunch of times and just nothing happens. But in my experience, I haven't really experienced that too often at all. Like I can't really recall a time of that happening. I do recall shooting up the ops in GT4 and the ops definitely be dropping. Like I feel like the gunplay is pretty decent. You have the auto aim just like every other GT. The GT, yeah, every GT had this game, even the older ones. Like every GT has that auto aim that's like aimbot, so it's not really that much different like game to game in terms of aiming. The actual guns themselves and the sounds, I feel like are pretty good. The whole depressing tone and the more grim tone to the entire video game from the art aesthetic and the storyline and all that good stuff, I can understand why some people don't like it, but it's just kind of what GT4 was going for, and that's really not like a bad thing about the game. It's kind of just like a matter of opinion. I mean, I guess a lot of this is a matter of opinion, but this specifically is like objectively just a matter of opinion. You can't really say objectively it's a worse game just because it has a more depressing, grim tone. That's just what they were going for. Me personally, I honestly would have been interested to see like a more upbeat GT4 because the physics of the game in every way, from the driving to even just pushing someone over, the ragdoll physics, all that good stuff, I really enjoy that. I think this is a very good video game, and the depressing tone is not my favorite part about the game, that's for sure. It's definitely not my favorite part. Some people also upset about the stripped sandbox features. For example, there's no more jetpacks, there's no more planes, there's no more working at gyms. Modifying cars? Can you not modify cars in GT4? I guess I don't remember modifying a car in GT4. But like, at least in comparison to like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the game that came out before this one, you did have the jetpacks and the planes and the working out gyms and all that good stuff. So it is a little bit different, and them being removed is, I guess, objectively a bad thing, like a worse thing. Like these are good features, and not having them is worse, because even if you didn't like them, you probably just don't really interact with them much. In GT San Andreas, there's some missions when like you had to use a plane or a jetpack or modify a car or whatnot, but for the most part, it wasn't like a major component of the game. So if you didn't like it, you could like mostly not really mess with it. And especially in terms of like the sandbox feature, like using it as a sandbox feature, that's completely up to you then. You don't have to use a jetpack or go on a plane or do something like that. But the sandbox features in GT4, like just driving around alone, is pretty enjoyable in this game. Going on the classic GT Mayhem, shooting up the block, killing all the cops, getting a huge wand level. I mean, you can even get up to a 6-star wand level in this game. That's still a good time in GT4, especially because of the physics. Like, the physics of everything, I feel like really makes or break the game for a lot of people. Like, either you love the game because of the physics, or you hate the game because of the physics. Let me know in the comments which side you're on, if you hate or love this game. But generally speaking, does GT4 deserve the hate it gets? No, it definitely does not. It's a great video game. It's highly rated. I believe it's actually the 3rd highest rated game on Metacritic, if I'm not mistaken. It did do some numbers when it first dropped, making like $500 million in the first week or something crazy like that. And it was actually a big deal when it dropped, like back in 2008. And even nowadays, it's still a good game to play. So if you haven't played this game, or just haven't played this game in a minute, I highly recommend giving it a try and hopping on that GTA IV. If you want to know more about the driving physics of this game in detail, I highly recommend watching this video on screen right now.